1, 2, 3, and a place to be. It's your player partners from the bottom of the map.
From the bottom of the mouth.
It's your dog Israel.
I Hayes.
And as always, make sure you hit that like, subscribe, share button, comment, and as always, tell a friend to tell a friend to tell your big booty auntie and them. It's them again. Um, yeah, man. Like I told y'all in the last video, I was out of town. Spending time with the fam. But I said we definitely gonna drop a video and really tell y'all what y'all really need to hear, and not none of the lip service because that's what y'all come to us for. So, got plenty to say. So go ahead and jump into it.
Um, a lot of y'all are gonna be like, well, he still has time. Let me help you out. The Heisman shit for Cam, it's a wrap. He's not winning the Heisman no more. I hope y'all know that. That loss to Georgia Tech, they're gonna factor that in. You can say what you want. Oh, he was close. I'm telling you now, he's not winning that. He's not winning that. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna look at Travis, they're gonna look at Shadur, they're gonna look at Genty. And so that right there was a monumental, and really, I could say it's his fault, but ultimately it's coaching. It's coaching. Cam has a summertime coach. Him and Shadur got better last season because of that. But holding the ball too long, looking for the hero play. If Dawson was a real OC, he would have been helped Cam improve since he been there. I look when you look at the sidelines, all of us watch the games. He's having talks with him, like what I'm saying, and they're just speaking praises. And I'm like, look, bro, this man has saved our whole season, so you can't get mad at him because without him. You know what I'm saying? Our offense don't look as good. Our defense don't look good. And it's like y'all not really realizing y'all setting us up to kind of take a backward step. Why? Because coaching is that important. I watched the game. I watched the whole game. I actually stopped what I'm doing, to watch the game. And it's just one of those things where it's like, bro, I watch when I looked at all the other podcasts, they're like, that's good, we can get it fixed. You ain't fixed nothing the whole season. What you finna fix now? People don't realize. Do you remember that drive when all he did was run, right? They actually made it down there. They made it all the way down there just running. Soon as they get down there, now they don't want to run no more. They want to just do pass plays. And then I'm like, you're going through it on 4th and 1. Dawson showed me that he is a garbage OC. Because I'm like, bro, why are you leaving points on the board? Who do you think you are? You got the first drive was the great drive, the tight ends, which you didn't go back to the tight ends after that. And I'm just like, who do you want to be? You don't know you got these strong runners, but when you have a running drive, you won't finish with the run. You're going through it on 4th and 1 with the same vanilla plays, and now it's 4th and 16, and you refuse to kick. I'm like, damn. So this is the worst coaching fucking job that I fucking seen. The defense ain't no good, but you need your offense to call good plays. Man, this motherfucker looks so goddamn pedestrian. And I was just looking at this shit and I'm like, yeah, I was just disappointed in all phases. I'm like, yo, at a certain point, I remember texting my homeboy and he was like, we still got a chance. I was like, we're losing because we've done everything to lose. And we did have a chance. This is before he fumbled. But I'm like, you can't tackle, cool. We expect to get scored on. You want to go down by 10 points, cool. But I'm like, the offense is just you're going forward. You went to the red zone 4 times and couldn't score. Going through it on 4th and 1. I really counted like 7 points that they left on the board. And I'm like, look, those 7 points obviously were the difference in the game. Obviously, we only lost by 5. So I'm like, okay. So if you would have kicked all the field goals, got all your points, you actually would have won the game. But I'm like, yeah, y'all don't really care. I'm like, when it comes to coaching, then I'm always watching Mario, not as hate, but I'm like, okay, what are you doing? The only time that I saw this man panicking, like he knew what was going on, when it's time to call the timeout, when they were gonna punt, and he thought that they might do, so he's thinking the same thing that I did, and I was like, yeah, they actually might. I was like, I was sneaky. Okay, so he called a timeout. They didn't do that, but I'm like, this guy, he's just depending on these goddamn he's just depending on his OC and his DC. He really don't know what's going on. He felt like his job is to get the talent. And I'm like, you know what? This is the same breakdown. And it just let me know all those other comebacks was all Ward, no coaching. Yeah, he has a couple of set plays, but Dawson is just talking to him. Versus when I'm looking at Dion and I'm looking at the accountability when Dion has Shador out there. And I'm like, you know what? Those OCs, Dion looked like he's in tune to the game. He knows what's going on. Obviously, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just you can see the improvements. And with Ward, I'm like, man, our when I watched that game, I wasn't surprised. I was like, this is why I don't like watching the games all the way through, is because it's hard for me as a not just as a casual fan, but as a person who knows football, and you know what I'm saying? And then I always watch SMU play, and I'm like, damn, I miss Red Lashley. And you know what? I remember when you used to give me shit about Red Lashley. You remember how I kept going on and on about Red Lashley? Do you remember? Because I know great coaching and I knew this cat was good. I may not even have to like what I was in Oz. I got a lot of respect for Brent Key. Brent Key, people keep thinking that they have our number. No, he knows when he sees Mario. When coaches see Mario, they know they can outcoach him.
I
They
think
know that
I
he's
think
never going to
that's
put together a
I
staff.
think
So it's
that's
so it's easy.
I think that's the now that's the word, right? Everybody praises Mario for being like just, like a, I don't know, maybe like a tough guy, hard nosed. He's a good, a good recruiter. But they never really, he has Miami bloodline. He's won at Miami. He's OC,
Bro,
at Bama.
bro.
But no, I think I haven't heard anybody say that he's a great coach.
Oh, I hear all the what do you mean? Locked. I don't want to say no names. I don't want to say no names, but
Well,
no.
well,
I
well.
hear all of the
Not,
pundits.
I'm not talking the podcast. I'm talking, more of the analysts, ESPN analysts, and Kirk and Reese and all those.
I have heard them say
They say
he's
he's a
got the
great coach.
program right. He's a great coach.
Mm,
They won't say the word elite coach. They don't give you no specifics, but I've heard universally to the point where everything that we said, they make us sound crazy. They make us sound, what do you mean? Even the fans. It's to the point now where you could see what Mario did at Oregon and no one will believe it except for Oregon fans. Honestly, bro, I feel like this shit is like politics. You seen that this man can't win big games, and when we say can't win big games, it's you don't have it. You can tell, bro, you really don't have the analytics down. I know that they're in those coaches meeting, and I know that the assistant coaches are pointing out the flaws, but I'm knowing that they're not exposing them. And when you watch us play Jeff Brom when we play, you know what I'm saying, Louisville, or you watch us play Brent Key, we're getting out schemed, we're getting out coached. And it's been like that to the point where it's like, okay, and then when I look at the comments from the fans, they're like, oh, it's just one game, we're still in the right direction. And I'm like, you don't realize all we're doing is out talenting people. You can't tell them anything, right? I hit them with facts, they say you're hating. I hit them with analytics, they say, well, you know what the analytics say, we have this top defense. I'm like, the ACC, you are putting these numbers up against teams that are not that good. You do realize that Georgia Tech is 5 or 4, right? When Georgia Tech plays somebody else who has a coach that's competent, they're not going to be able to do those things. Yeah, I understand that their quarterback was hurt for 2 games. They still were not that good. Every year in out, they're not ever expected to compete for championships. That's not even how they can recruit. But the fans, most of our fans are delusional. I've accepted that. I no longer argue with them. There was a small part of our fans that know good football and they always point it out and they see it because it's so crystal clear. I just think that, you know what? When people want their way, when they haven't won for 20 years, they'll just believe anything. So even this loss, you know what? And I'm like, you got outskinned, you got beaten every single phase. You say, that how do you let recruits that are 2 and 3 stars, maybe some of them no stars, and they're not going to throw. They can't do anything but run, and you can't stop the run. You can't stop the run. You can't get contained. They stop your offense from doing what they want to do, and then they make y'all one dimensional, and they're just out coaching you on both sides of the ball. And you're playing from behind this whole season against subpar competition. But you know what? You're like, all we got to do is win the ACC. So you barely want to beat SMU, or if not lose to SMU. You really think you're just going to beat our old coach Red Lashley when I know that Red Lashley, you remember how high I was on them before the season started? I was like, look, man, SMU is going to be good. Why? Because I believe in Red Lashley as a coach. Why do I believe in him? Because I've watched him scheme. I've watched him turn Tyler. It's to the point now where Tyler Van Dyke looks his best under Rhett Lashley,
Yeah, that's true.
and he had our offense scoring 30 to 40 points with no O line, with no run game. That is what I fucking call coaching. And you know what? There's not a UM fan that can dispute that. They'll have no argument, right? They'll go back to UM, but he's got all the ex players from UM. He's using Brashard Smith in ways that we don't even use our running backs now, right? You don't want to put any. We got running backs way more talented than Brashard Smith, right? We got Lyles and we got the other dude back there. What's his name? Johnson, Chris.
Mm-hmm. Chris Johnson.
You can put those players in space and they're even better. But our OC is not that talented. He will stick with our two power backs. And I'm like, in reality, y'all could have those drives where we did nothing but run. You could have on those fourth and ones. You could have used any one of those. You could have had two back decoys. You could have had two tight. You know what I'm saying? Like you could have had a mixing combinations. Red Lashley is so creative. And it's not even like I think this guy is a magician. He's just talented and he knows his X and O's. And that's how I'm able to measure it. But I'm like, you realize that SMU could very well beat us, if not straight up beat us, because you can't stop them, right? Defense is not going to make any changes. So like I said, Lance Goodry got a raise. The only reason, listen, if it's not for the fans, we were saying our defense was garbage after the Florida game. Right after the Florida game, we are like, nah, this is not an aberration. We thought these things were fixed. And the thing is, I think me and you try not to be haters. We are like, look, if you want to win like this, cool, I'll accept it. But you can't get mad when everybody in the college football stratosphere knows that our defense sucks and they question our offensive play calling because it's like, well, why are you, if your offense, you know how they were saying that, our offense can't be stopped. I never believed that because you're always playing from a deficit. If your
Yes.
offense can't be stopped, then you got to go down every single time and score at will. And you're not doing that against ACC teams.
I think that's what happens when not just when you have people who are giving their thoughts on Miami, right? And they say, oh, Miami has the top 8 defense. So the top 8 defense came from beating a bad Florida team, beating FAMU, beating USF, beating Ball State. So by the time we get to our first ACC game, we have a top defense based off those numbers, but that's against 4 terrible teams. We play Cal, we play Virginia Tech and give up, what was it, 34, 37. We play Cal and give up, damn near
38.
38. We play Louisville, give up 45. So now everybody is scoring. So now once you got past those first 4 cupcakes, everybody's scoring damn near 40. You play Louisville, give up 45. You play Duke, and you pull away late against Duke. Florida
Mm.
State scored more
They
points.
still scored 31, though.
They scored 31. Florida State scored more points than they should have scored. And then, we had this thing with Georgia Tech. So I'm just like, at that point, when you start talking about a top rated defense from the Virginia Tech game all the way to the Georgia Tech game, if you take those first 4 games out, we actually have one of the worst defenses.
I
As
know,
far
but the
as,
sad part is it's only UM fans, though. And it's like, I understand having team pride, right? I understand supporting your team, but bro, this shit was so stupid for us to have to argue in week out. Now and then by the third game they caught up. First they made excuses for Virginia Tech. Oh, they're really good. What the fuck are you talking about? We ranked top 5. Once you got top 5, it wasn't no more excuses. Then Cal, Wars, Mendoza, this. No, bro, I don't want to hear that shit. We were going in. Now, finally, the third or fourth game, you catch the rest of the podcast, you catch the fans. Oh, good, you need to be fired. Bro, we been said this shit. And then I said our offense is not unstoppable. You coming from behind. Every last one of them games you named, you came from behind. How is
behind.
that an unstoppable offense? And then you're doing this against a lesser competition. Soon as you played, you know what I'm saying, Louisville, somebody who could score with you, then it was like, okay, yes, this team can keep up. But I'm like, bro, you're stopped by all these defenses. All these defenses stopped you, and you had to putting our quarterback and to make him have to come from behind every single game is
Every
madness.
game.
Is madness.
And
And
that's the big point. When you're supposed to be like a championship contending team, these games should be over by halftime. They should be over by halftime. We should be up, 28, 35 points by halftime or in the middle of the third quarter, and our freshmen and our young players should be getting reps. But you have all these games against Cal, who can't score against anybody, Louisville, who has difficulty scoring against anybody, Virginia Tech, who hasn't top 30 against anybody, all these other teams who can't score against anybody else, Florida State, who can barely put up 3 points against anybody who's still scoring against us. All these games where teams can't score against anybody else, but they're scoring against us because we're not prepared. We're not prepared like a championship team to put teams away early, have a big giant lead, and like get our other guys our get some reps, get the younger guys reps. What we're doing is we're kind of like, playing around, games 14-0, then we come back in, then we're down 11, we're down 17. And in a way, I feel like this is what was giving Cam the Heisman push. He's making these not from playing from ahead, playing from behind. Oh, he had to make these furious comebacks, furious comebacks, furious comebacks. And he's putting up all these numbers, and they're looking for that Heisman moment. But it's just like it was going to be a certain point in time, which we had been calling. You can't keep playing like that. You just can't. That's not championship football. And any team that keeps playing like that is eventually going to get caught. I already said we're going to lose games we're not supposed to lose. And now, if you already start like operating out of a certain pattern, how are you going to change it? What's going to make you change? If you play like undisciplined football, you have bad coaching all year, nothing is going to change. This is who you are. This is the team you are. What's going to make you change? Ain't nothing. People keep saying, oh, this is the game that's going to wake them up. How? You've been playing like this all year. You've been playing from behind, and you've been playing down the competition, and you've been allowing teams that you should be blowing the fuck out to stay in the game. What's going to change? This is who you are. So now moving forward, nothing is going to change. You should already, looking at our schedule, we should already been like, okay, this is the path to at least the playoffs berth. At least this is an easy path. We got enough, we have enough talent disparity to where we should get through each one of these teams fairly easily. We may have a tough match here or there, but we should be able to beat every team pretty soundly. We said that at the beginning of the year. We looked at every game. Everybody, the consensus was we should be 12-0. No problem. We should get to the ACC championship game, and that should be our first test. But we've been testing
Yeah,
after
but you
week
know
after.
what though? But to be fair about it, me and you, I think you remember you was like 6 or 7. I was like 10-3 at best. I was like 10-3 at best, and I was like, you know what? You're right. We should go 12-0, but we were like, you know what? The coaching, the coaching, the coaching,
Okay.
and so. I think now that I see the comments, people are like, "We're gonna go 11-1, or we're 9-1," and they're like, "We're already exceeding expectations." And I'm like, "Yeah,
No,
but you're not."
how? How, dog? How we exceed expectations when you look at this schedule? And I think this is the biggest thing. College football don't love Miami, right? They don't love Miami. Miami is the darling. It ain't Ohio State. It ain't Alabama. It's not one of those teams. Miami now is ranked 12th. If Miami does not win the ACC championship game, it will not be in the playoffs. That's
But
what
I don't think we
you're
but
fucking
we
around.
shouldn't be. But honestly, should we? If you it just from a Miami standpoint, right? No, from a non-Miami standpoint, you're looking at the ACC. People, I don't know what it is, dog, and it's just being honest. The ACC teams, I'm not saying that the SEC teams are raw or the Big Ten is just so much better, but but they're better. They are better, and
They
I say
are.
that because their defenses are tougher. The coaches are smarter. You know what I'm saying? Like you figure somebody like a Shane Beamer at South Carolina, I'm like, bro, this guy was always a smart coach. And so when I look at the talent disparity, it's like, you know what? These ACC teams, just looking at the conference, I'm like, look, these teams are not hardcore. The only I feel like we're on par low key. The Big 12 and the ACC could battle it out, and I can't say that we would just whoop all those teams in the Big 12. Like I don't necessarily feel like that because really when you look at it, you know what I'm saying. Besides what you could say Clemson, right? But Clemson will lose to Louisville. Clemson gonna have problems putting points on the board. You know what I'm saying. And us, SMU, SMU was in the first year. The first year in the ACC play, they literally came up and all ripped. They're about to play for the conference title. So you can't tell me like you know what I'm saying. Which we knew they were good. I'm a Rhett Lashley fan, so I knew they would be good. But I'm like, yeah, your confidence can't be too raw if that's the upstart. You know what I'm saying? Because they had to raise money just to upgrade everything, just to make sure that they could compete on that level, and everybody else questioned it. But They had a great head coach, but the competition in the ACC is not there. So I looked at this shit and I'm like, look, bro, you can't expect the rest of college football, especially with the way that we've been playing against this competition, to be like, do you deserve to be in there? No, you Miami fans are the only ones that are like, look, but what? No, you knew the way. Now, here's the thing, right? Let's just say we look dominant in every game
Hmm.
with the way that Clemson, right? Clemson did look. No, they should have put up more points than Georgia. Just honestly, the 34-0, the 44-3. I'm like, look, if they would have lost 34-22, totally different way that they're looking at that loss. That loss looks so much better. That you know what, Clemson could have had one more loss, which would be a head scratcher, and I felt like they were going to be one of the teams. But now if Miami, if we don't win there, they're only going to take one team from the
Only gonna
ACC,
take
and you
one
can't
team.
be mad at that. You can't be mad at that at all. No one else looks good. I didn't believe in Pitt. I know you didn't believe in Pitt. Why we didn't believe in Pitt? Because you ain't play nobody in the ACC. You ain't play nobody. I know ain't nobody in the ACC. It's different if you were undefeated in SEC play. They're gonna take two losses. They're gonna take a shitload of two loss SEC teams. Okay, they're not, and that's going to be the only conference. They're probably not going to take a two-loss team in the Big Ten unless it's Ohio State. Unless it's Ohio State, they're not going to take a two-loss Penn State team. But I'm like, when you look at the teams, and it's like you can't get mad at that. You can't get mad at that at all. So yeah, I think Miami should. I think if we don't win the ACC, we don't deserve to be there. But even then, it's like playing like I don't know, bro. Like I feel like our fans are just so starved. They just been so long that we ain't seen our team rank 3, 4, 5, top 10. That they just happy to be there. And I'm like, that's not how you win. That's not how we earned our stripes. Y'all want to earn our stripes in a different way. We have always had great coaching, and yes, we've had talent, but we've had great coaching. And now they think that without great coaching, we should still be in there. And I'm like, look, as long as we have subpar coaching, we will lose games like this over and over again, and y'all will be happy with the window dressing. You'll be happy just to be up there, and you can't argue that because there's no excuse for losing like that. There's no excuse for having to come behind against these games. And honestly, I think if we beat SMU, we barely beat SMU. You think we're gonna dominate SMU? We ain't dominating nobody except for Florida, and that ain't even the same Florida team. So I I think Wake Forest puts points on us, right? I think they play solid against Wake Forest. I think our fans, we're on the bye week, right? But we're gonna come, which damn, you know how we like to do on the bye week. You know we like to come out on the bye week and fall flat. But y'all got something to say about that shit too. I just ain't no puss ass UN fan. Them UN fans, them podcasts, they some puss ass podcasts. I'm gonna go ahead and say it, and I'll take all the smoke because y'all be lying. This shit that we us losing to Georgia Tech again is Mario shit. That's what Oregon tried to tell us. Oregon tried to tell us, but all of a sudden they lying. So Wake Forest gonna come out, put points on us. We'll beat them. Syracuse, they gonna try to beat us. They gonna try to beat us, and you're not gonna stop them. If we make it to the ACC title game, I ain't gonna lie. I think SMU may win. I think SMU has a strong case for beating us, and I think you know what we'll say. We went 10-2. We went 10-2. That's an improvement, which it is, right? It's an improvement for 5 losses, right? That's what a lot of people say at the end of the year when it's like, look, you got to play Notre Dame first game of the year next year. Next year, I think we got a tougher
We
schedule.
fucked up. We fucked up, and we told y'all. We fucking told y'all, man. I feel like Denny Green. Like, man, Miami is who we thought they were because as much as we just kept saying we got a top five at the beginning of the year, everybody kept talking about every transfer, every signee. Everybody kept harping on the shit, and me and you, I know we kept saying it, dog. No matter what that is, it's the coaching. We've been saying this shit. It's coaching year after fucking year. And if it's gonna be Mario, Shannon Dawson, and Gidry, we gonna be fucked. Because no matter what the talent is, if other coaches with lesser talent can outcoach you, they got a chance. And we even seen that in the South Florida game until late in the game, where it's just okay, they started to pull away, but it's just like damn, coaching kept them in that game. Coaching kept Cal in the game. Coaching had Louisville in the game. Coaching beat us with Georgia Tech. Like at the end of the day, like we're dealing with the same thing we've been talking about all year, and people been believing in Mario. And it's not like we hate Mario, but it's just like it is what it is. I don't like how they treat Cam. I think they baby Cam too much. There's a
They
time.
do.
There's a
They
time
do.
where you can give him the leader respect, but He ain't like a Miami guy that been in the trenches and the struggle with us. Like I felt like the game against Georgia Tech, he wasn't playing well. Take the ball out of his hands. He wasn't playing well. There's times where you have to get in his ass. You're holding the ball too long. You're trying to make. We were 1 for 4 on fourth down. Instead of running the ball or making the simple pass, because there's a couple fourth downs where he missed simple passes trying to do like some extra shit. Instead of making a simple play and let your play.
Take the damn field goals was the first
Even
coaching
even
decision.
even on 4th and 1, you had a couple of 4th and 1s where like they threw the ball, and instead of him, he could have ran for one first down, or he could have at least made a play, or he could have threw a short pass, but he held the ball too long, trying to see a receiver come open for a bigger play. That's when you get in your.
Why not just go? But the smart coaching decision, if you're not going to kick the field goal, why can't he run the ball quarterback sneak? Why we can't
even
quarterback sneak for the 1 yard?
even that. So even the 1 yard, because I felt like we had the backs and we've been getting our 1 yards. We've been getting between Martinez and Fletcher. We've been getting the 1 yards. But
Yes.
okay, but if you're gonna roll the dice, right? We're gonna let Cam make the play. And Cam has multiple times, not just on the fourth down. There's been other plays throughout the game where he's missing the short pass. He's missing a wide open short receiver. There's a lot of times where Strepo was open. There's a lot of times that the tight ends were open in the flat or like sitting in a zone where he's looking for like longer passes. This is when the coach is supposed to get in your quarterback ass and say, hey, listen, you make the smart play. Stop trying to like hit the home run. Stop trying to make the big play. Even if you get 5 yards on it's 3rd and 8, right? And you get 5 yards, punt. Punt. You can't get it every single time. Punt the ball. But if you're doing extra shit, you're getting sacked. You're getting your team like you're not allowing your team to get into the rhythm because your quarterback is not playing well. Coaching is supposed to step in. You're supposed to grab a nigga by his face mask and get in his ass to get him to play right. But what they do is just like, oh well, Cam, he's our Heisman leader. It's just like
Bro, do
that's
you remember it
stadium.
was 4th and 1, and then they had 4th and 16, and I was like, oh, so you're still not gonna kick this field goal? And I was like, okay, yeah, you're saying you're gotta go for it, right? But I was like, you don't have to go for this. I understand the intent, where we're at, but I'm like, you take a look at that game, and I was like, how did you get in a position to where you felt like you had the first time you went on a 4th and 1, like you said, I can kind of get it. You feel like you got the number one offense, but I've been asking this all season, like you said, we got you got big backs. We got faster backs back there. If you're gonna have these big backs, and I remember they got stuffed on the drive, so maybe they didn't know. But now I'm like, that's why you got this line. That's why you got your power formation. You get them two tight ends, you get two backs, and listen, listen,
You can use
which
you
if
can
you
use
get
Fletcher as a fullback, or you can use Damian Martinez as a fullback and put the
fullback,
other back
yes.
back there.
Yes. I'm like, to get the one. If you don't want to do that, yo, they have not utilized Cam's running ability the whole year. Every now and then, I'm like, listen, the reason that Georgia Tech is doing this is because he's not like, you see how their quarterback leaves the pocket just for a great run, then he does it again. Then we're like, oh, okay, he done open things up. Even though they're gonna run, you don't know where the run is gonna come from. So now our players are crazy. And I'm like, yo, if y'all want, they're gonna continue to rush in there. Let Cam run out for the first down a couple times. Now somebody got to stay home because the man keep doing it. Now you can do what you want to do. And like you said, if you're telling him to take the short passes, now think about it. They're looking. They know that you want the. They know what he wants to do. Therefore, if you kill him with the short pass, the runs, and our regular run, because I'm like, you had a drive where you ran all the way down there. Finish it off either quarterback sneak, allow him to lead the pocket for the run, but not having a specially designed play is, I'm like, yo, the coaches failed him and they failed the fans. Because especially the second time you're going on 4th and 1, you already didn't get it the first time. Then I'm livid at the screen and I'm like, bro, let's just take the points because you guys don't have a plan. Your plan is freestyle because you're comfortable. You're comfortable playing from behind. When really, you kick all those field goals, we win that game. Ugly, ugly, of course, but you win the game because you left all
You
the
know what?
points there.
And we didn't take 2 field goals and we lost by 5 points. I feel like if we take the 2 field goals, we'll find another way to lose. I feel like there's just another way because, like, all in all, we just everything that we did was bad. There's nothing. There's nothing that I can say in that game where it's just like, all right, we had an advantage and we took advantage of our advantage. There was no adjustments. No, I'm finna read off. I'm finna let y'all know. So we always talk during the game. And this is how I be telling you, like we be talking about coaching. This at 12:35. I say I see they still can't keep contained on the quarterback because King, I don't know why he's hurt, but he's getting out. Every time you just like, all right, he's getting 7, 8 yards. They can't keep quarterback contained. And you say not at all. Gidgy got to get fired if it's me. And I'm like, yeah, man, they get out coached every game. And it's
Every
obviously
game.
I see their game plan. They trying to slow the game down because they're running the ball. They're trying to take the ball out of Miami's hand, control the possession. You was like every
Good
time.
coaching. Good coaching.
You was like win every time. Win time of possession, and Miami don't know that and can't stop it. And I'm like, they're running the option with both their quarterbacks. Gidry ain't doing shit to force them to throw. They get 7 yards every run play. And you were like, I'll stack the line and go to man coverage and tell the safety he better be legit. And I'm like, exactly. They got 24 plays to R9. Make them throw, stack the line. So it's just like we're watching the game and we're seeing what they're doing. They're slowing the game down. They're controlling possession. They're running with both their quarterbacks. They're running all types of formations. They're running so many
Boy, they had a lot of
formations.
formations.
They're running formations sideline to sideline, angles. They're running like triple option out of the shotgun. They're running formations crazy to where like if you're not playing fundamental football, which was happening, you're getting out of gaps and you're basically chasing the ball everywhere. That's why they're getting 8, 9 yards a carry. Like this is just happening, and I'm just like, okay, Georgia Tech has a quarterback who's hurt. They can't throw. And then you got a true freshman in there. Why aren't we stacking the line and just make them prove it on the outside? But on and this is why I feel like they do it because on 3rd and 16 they convert. When they have to convert, they convert throwing the ball. But outside of that, like our coaching isn't making any adjustments. You know how many sacks we had? Fucking duck and donut. We don't have nobody. And this is, I was like, you know what? I praised our defensive line all year. And I said, you know what? What we don't have no run stuffers. We got
Mm-mm.
guys that all they do is chase the quarterback. They don't have no run stuffers. So there's holes every time, like somebody, whatever team it is, it doesn't matter. But Georgia Tech showed it. Every time they like a running back gets the ball, there's a hole. They can cut. There's a hole. They do the stretch. There's a hole. They're doing read option, like whatever it is. They're getting to like the second level. So
And
it's
you know
our
our
linebackers.
linebackers are gonna miss tackles.
Our
So they're, you
linebackers
know
are
what I'm
going
saying?
to
That
miss
doesn't
tackles,
guarantee.
or they're going to be out of position. And now we're relying on our safeties to make tackles. So that's 8, 9 yards down the field.
Even then, when I'm watching some of the DBs tackles, when you really watch them, it's like, bro, they'll let they're watching the receiver like a deer in headlights. The receiver will run past them, then they react late. And I'm like, some of y'all don't need to be out there. We've already said that, but I'm like, this is coaching. This is coaching. This is it took the think about how many games it really took them to play that boy Frederic. That's his name.
Yeah, Frederick.
So think about how many games it took them to really like let him know, like, okay, that's your best corner. Your best corner is a DB that you can tell he was a freshman. You know what I'm saying? So that means he was in high school last year. That means that he just came in ready to play. That's not even y'all coaching. You got to play him because you're searching for any answers. But I'm like, look, I'm like, I don't know. It just makes me even look at that whole staff to be like, okay, well, who is our DB coach? Is our DB coach like y'all miss so many tackles every single game to the point where it's like, you know what I'm saying? Like, is somebody really getting in y'all ass? Are y'all really in practice doing nothing but tackle drills? And if y'all because I'm like, you got a scout team. We know you got a scout team, and we know that team's supposed to simulate this. And I'm like, yo, there's no way in practice that y'all are practicing these things because it's not translating to the game. So there's no way you're simulating these game environments. There ain't no way. And once again, I just I look at Mario as this is when I remember Oregon always lost games that they weren't supposed to lose, and it's because you could. I never knew why, right? Like, cause I just knew I was like, okay, I could just tell this guy he don't have no game plan. Never paid attention, but now the more and more I've analyzed this the last 2 or 3 years, and I take a look at Danny Lanning, which I like Danny Lanning when he was on Georgia staff, and I love Kirby as a coach, right? Our fans are so delusional to be like, but Georgia's not good this year. But Georgia has a program. Programs will have up and down years, and they only got two losses. They got two losses, right? Yeah, they got two losses. You think if Georgia don't win out, they don't let Georgia in there? No, they gonna let
Oh,
Georgia
two
in
loss
next year.
Georgia is getting in because their losses is to
Yeah,
Bama and Ole Miss. They're getting in.
come on. They're getting in. They're getting in. But that's the thing. Like our fans are like, yeah, but we're better because you're using words like better. You're using words like improvement, not realizing the very, very specifics. Our talent gap, we literally had the best recruiting class in the ACC
Damn near
past two
best recruiting
years.
class in the country. Fuck the
In the
ACC.
country. Okay. And so we're losing the teams that are ranked 34, 44, 55. They don't even have any of the recruits. So the wins that you have are out talent. And if we didn't have, I love Emory to death, right? But since we don't have no coaching without Cam, we got four losses again. Y'all think
Yes,
we're not gonna have them four losses next
yes,
year?
no, we
If we
definitely.
don't go to even if we go to the transfer portal, we're gonna play better competition. You guys are gonna be mad, and everything that we're telling you is the same shit. So really, when you think about it, if we didn't have Cam, oh, we got three losses. This will be our fourth loss.
This should be our fourth loss.
So it's taking refs, it's taking defense garbage, questionable offensive decisions, and
That
it's like, okay,
they fucking up because this is honestly, just to be real, this is Miami's best chance. This is
yeah,
based with having Cam Ward and our schedule. This is Miami's best chance because we're not going to have a quarterback as good, and our schedule is not going to be as soft. And at the end of the day, we're going to be what we are, which is a team that just like isn't coached the best. So like we're going to play to our mean, our median, where
no, not coach the best,
we're gonna
garbage
come back
coaching.
down to where we're gonna normally be at. Our quarterback is gonna be good because we like Emory, and like we're gonna lose some players. So we're gonna lose Restrepo. We're gonna lose some like quality players, but the talent we're playing against is gonna go up. So we're gonna go back down. This year was the year like that gave us like all. It was the perfect storm. We got the quarterback and we got the schedule. We got the recruits. We got everything. So this was the perfect storm to where you'd be like, we should run the table, and this is our chance to actually get an ACC championship, get in a playoff, and maybe compete for a championship. This was the year because next year, Cam gone, Restrepo gone, whoever else players are going to be gone are really gone, and we're still going to have the same tendencies. Our coaching, because our coaching is going to remain the same. You don't outplay your tendencies. Your tendencies are what they are. So, like,
Mm.
unless you change with you change the OC. And this is the difference. I swear, people don't understand because I don't know, maybe Miami want to be loyalists, but I see other programs want to win. If you're not winning halfway through the season, they'll fire your ass. They'll fire the OC, they'll fire the DC, they'll get a cause fuck y'all. We trying to win. We want to win a championship. All this, oh, give them more time. And man, fuck that. This is like right now, especially even more now with the transfer portal. Like it's about win right now. Like we ain't got time for put their players in. Fuck all that, man. You should be able to come in, and other coaches are showing in year one, year two, they can come in and win all this like we need to keep giving them more time, put their system in, get their players. They get their so they got their players, they got their system, they got the schedule, they got the Heisman quarterback. You got every fucking thing, and y'all still are not showing that you're gonna be. This shouldn't just be we're 12-0 or 9-0 or we should be dominating. This should be them years where Bama or Georgia is just beating the shit out of everybody. We're not doing that, and like as much as we said it, we start getting called like, "Oh, y'all some haters," or like y'all don't know football, or y'all just like nigga. We're watching it. We're watching our coaches get out coached game after game after game, and
I
like
don't know why that's not the biggest point.
so
No,
far.
no, I will say that. No one ever says we're getting out coached. They'll say everything else but that, but they will never say it because they like Mario. And I'm like, that's really what we're talking about. We're getting out coached. Everything that you said about Georgia Tech and Brent Key, they sat down, they schemed us. They took a inferior team, okay, who doesn't have that much talent. They played toward their strength. They had certain keys, right? We're gonna win time of possession. That's key.
Mm,
That's so smart, right? But that's
we're gonna
so
run the
overlooked.
ball. They only had 99 yards of passing. That's it. They ran up. We all knew they were gonna run the ball because they don't. One day traditionally they don't throw. Even but Haynes King has been hurt, so we know they're not going to be throwing the ball. We know everybody knew they're going to run the ball, and we seen it in the first two quarters. Even like by the middle of the second quarter, it's like this is what they're going to do. They're going to run the ball.
They're gonna hit you, but what they're gonna do, they're gonna make sure that they got so many formations that they're gonna confuse you because they know you're not good tacklers. Meanwhile, Miami, this is a revenge game for you. You lost to this team last year because you got outcoached at the end of the game. So you come into this game saying, hey, they can't throw. They don't even know if Hank Kings is gonna come. We're gonna make sure, if nothing else, my defense, you gotta tackle. You gotta tackle. You gotta tackle because at the end of the day, all they're gonna do is run. We're gonna have formations where we got looks where we're stacking the line too. We're gonna have to try that a couple of series where, like you said, you're gonna beat me. Well, then you're gonna have to throw that ball because I'm gonna stack the line and it's gonna be little to no holes. And I'm already gonna tell my safety, and we're gonna play a little bit of man to man. I know Frederic is there, but I'm gonna tell my safety, you gonna look at the other side, okay? You're gonna look at the other side, think about any other deep pass, and I'm gonna tell my other DB keep it in front of you. But yeah, we're gonna stack the line, and we're gonna call. They don't even throw too many screens, so and they're not gonna make no adjustments. So I'm gonna make them do something else. To my offense, I had two series where they ran the ball a lot. I would have did more running because I need to control. I need to make sure that my even if my offense scores quick, I need to control the time of possession. So I'm gonna have series where I'm gonna do a lot more running and I'm gonna have a lot more short passes. I know that I'm a quick strike offense, so I'm gonna keep that, but I'm gonna adjust it. What you did during Florida State, right? Okay, yeah, I'm gonna incorporate some of that because I need to win the time of possession and I want to keep my defense off the goddamn field. Why do I want to keep my defense off the field? Because they're a bit of a liability, right? So I'm a guy. Listen, dog. Most fans who really know what we're talking about, we damn near could do a little bit of coach. We can coach jits, we can coach people, and we're like, look, this got to be the goddamn message, okay? And so I'm like, look, at the end of the day, I'm definitely like, I'm gonna be using all my running backs, okay? I ain't burning nobody red shirt, but Chris getting some play, Lyles getting some play. I watch SMU, so now I got different. I got my fast backs. I'm gonna put them in positions to win, okay? I'm like you said, I need 1 yard. I'm using what's the name as a fullback, and I'm getting them through. And I'm like, y'all didn't do none of that.
We
Y'all
listen,
didn't do none of
listen.
that.
So I watched Georgia Tech have their other quarterback and Haynes King in at the same time.
Smart,
At the same
great
time,
goddamn
not only
coaching.
were they rotating them in and out, they were on the field at the same time. So they had two backs back there. They've had two backs. They've had two quarterbacks in the backfield. They had a quarterback and then a quarterback lined up at receiver. When I'm telling you, like, even if it's just decoy, you're mixing up because now you're making the other coach be like, okay, they're using different personnel. So now if you have AJ Allen in, or if you have Lyle, you have Johnson in, it's like, okay, there's different personnel. They could be going to wheel routes, they could be going to screens, they could be
Come
going because
on.
they typically don't use them as just your power, your run in your straight downhill run game. So even if you're mixing up the looks, even if you're lining up Johnson at receiver, you start them in the backfield and then you send them out to and receive. So you're giving different looks because now you're making the defensive coach think, oh, okay, he's out there. Is he going out into a pass pattern or is it just a decoy? Is he gonna they're gonna send him out to receiver and then motion him back to running back? What are like what are different things that we're doing to just mix up the looks because like you said, we were running the ball decently and we don't have our running game is trash. But if they're gonna move down the field, they're getting 3-4 yards just running up the gut. All right, you run 3-4 yards running up the gut, but then like you do something. You do something to mix it up with your running backs. You do something to mix it up with your tight ends. You do a couple tight end screens. You do a tight end shovel pass. You do something with your tight ends, like just to mix it up to where like you keep the other defensive coordinator thinking like what they had Gidry doing. They got two quarterbacks on the field. What the fuck are they going to do? Are they going to do a quarterback pass, a throwback pass? Are they going to
But
throw?
but are these not simple things? Like I'm once again, he did it. I watched SMU did it. I watched Vanderbilt did it, and I'm like, you had this game circled, so you could have thrown them off because they want to win time of possession. You don't want them. You need to win the time of possession battle against
You,
Georgia Tech.
but because we're such a quick strike offense, they don't want to change it up when you need to change it. When Cam don't, and this is what I said. I said this shit like 3-4 weeks in a row. I said Cam is going to have a game. He gonna have a game when he don't play well, and when he don't play well, what are we gonna do? Because we've been leaning so
Bruh.
heavily on him to carry us and to win the game for us. That when he doesn't play well, you're gonna have to do something else. and he
But
did.
when they ran down the field, I'm like, oh, okay, so you're gonna run. All right, cool. They don't expect that. Why not finish off that drive with the run? Why are you getting to the red zone? Now you just want to do pass plays. No, go back to your run, especially when you need it. It don't make no sense for you to be a halfway crook. It don't make no sense for you to, I'm gonna switch it up because they didn't expect all that running. I didn't expect all that running. Cool. You gotta finish with that. Because now you need it. We got big backs because last year we could not punch it in. Why are you getting down to the end and you can't punch it in and you got the backs for it? Never mind the fact that, okay, cool, it was a longer drive, so it's not a quick strike drive. But I'm like, look, man, like you said, it's almost like our OC don't got no like you didn't do your homework. You don't got the switch of formations. Are you not? I hate to say it, but I'm like, bro, you're not watching Rhett Lashley. I know y'all been peeping how SMU been doing their thing, and I'm like, listen, they've been getting Brashad. They've been having all type of looks. You could make all type of looks for our faster backs because you're not because they I don't think they played every single game. So I'm like, you're not burning their red shirt, but this is a revenge game. To me, I would have had the most. I would
Even
have had the
AJ
most
Allen.
formation.
AJ Allen not even he's not even seeing the field.
Bro, y'all could have had all type of formations they never seen before, and then you could have kept Cam, and there was so many opportunities to adjust, and you didn't. You had a nice round of practice to do this, and I'm like, man, what do you, yo? To me, I've come to the conclusion that it's got to be Mario because even when you fire Goodry, you know that'll be our third defensive coordinator, right? Dawson is garbage, but because Cam's looked so good this year, that's making his job look better. But I'm like, yo, he gonna go somewhere else. Even if he does, let's just say, oh, he gets plucked by somebody else. He gonna look vanilla. I'm like, this guy is not good. He's not good, and I think coordinators regress. The one thing I can say about Lashley, no matter what that defense was doing, our offense always listen. We were beating people because we were putting points on the board. We had all type of formations. We had all type of rail routes. I love watching SMU do that now. And I'm like, look, when we play SMU is the second. Listen, SMU to me, arguably right now, is the best team in the ACC. We don't have as much talent as them, but when we're saying
Not
that Miami is
arguably,
better,
they
y'all are
are
talking
the
about
best
how
team.
talent.
They're number one in the
They are.
ACC right now.
Because when they say Miami is good, you're talking about the talent. You're not talking about coaching. You're talking about talent. But our fans, they're delusional. They don't have any specific facts. They can't give you instances. And that's why I say, man, honestly, at this point, man, our fans is like politics, bro. You can show them. And I'm like, this is the same guy. He did the same thing at Oregon. Oregon had great players. What we need y'all to understand is I want to continue to get good recruits, but the next coach needs to be great. He needs to be like Danny Lanning. So that way we got some great recruits, and then this is a good coach. Boom. I like Red Lashley, honestly, and I get Red. I've been wanting Red to be the coach. I said he was good. I knew he was going to be successful, and I was hurt when he left. I understand he had to leave, but I'm like, look, man, this guy is going to be good. And listen, Manny knows that because why you think Manny went and got Red Lashley? And Manny, once again, you thinking year number one at Duke, Manny's doing good, and this is just his second coaching job. This guy Cristobal has been all over, bro. And honestly, he was garbage at FIU. Even he only got that job at Oregon by default, and he's known to bring in the good recruits. Bro, they're gonna lose. Oregon laughed, and now Oregon is laughing because I love how Oregon looks. Dog, Oregon is clicking. Oregon's probably definitely gonna
Oregon,
play for the national
Oregon,
title.
Oregon, like a lot of teams do when they're in that position, is they taking care of fucking business.
They
That's
are
what you're supposed to do.
both sides of the ball. Both
Both
sides of the
sides of the
ball.
ball, you're supposed to take care of business. Like when you have the team that Miami has, we're supposed to be taking care of business, right? We're supposed to be kicking ass and taking names. At this point, like when you look back at that, those 2099, the 01, 02 teams, we was beating the shit out of everybody, right? And we will have a tough game here or there, but when you think about it, you're just like Miami is going to go out and handle business. We're not going to play around
Yes.
with teams. This shit is gonna be like we're gonna establish our dominance. Nobody believed in Miami at number 4 because we haven't looked dominant against any team. The only team
Anybody, and these teams
dominant
are
against
garbage.
was Florida, and Florida is not a good team. So we haven't looked dominant like this team went out there and they looked like the best team in the country. We look like the best offense, but we haven't looked like the best team. And even
And
the
we look
best
like the best offense against subpar. Like you feel me? Like this
but let me
offense
say
looks good
something
at the
about this
end.
offense. Our offense looks. I never thought our offense looked good. Actually, our offense looked like I don't know if y'all watch basketball, but our offense looked like Sean Marion or Antoine Jameson. Like it's ugly, but damn, he's scoring 28 a game. So like it is a lot of points. But like our running game, it never looks good. Our running game looks like average at best. So when you think offense, I'm thinking all of it. Our running game, our tight ends, our offensive line, like the whole offense, like it's just smooth. It doesn't look smooth. We when we hit the blick play, we hit, but it doesn't look smooth. It doesn't look like the shit is just always like it's just Cam running around and making plays. It doesn't look like damn every time they get the ball that play the right play is called the right formations because we got five
No.
running backs. We got five: Fletcher, Martinez, Allen, Johnson, and Lau. Five running backs that's supposed to be like, oh, we got five like a stable. These running backs ain't getting off. It ain't like our running backs was back then. We had Portis and Gore and McGahee and all them. Like they was getting to it. We got five running backs, and it's just like, oh, this shit looks bad. We got four tight ends, four of them, like great tight ends, and it's just like, damn, they get a pass or two a game. And I understand, like, but people are saying like they should be in for blocking. Well, we supposed to have this great offensive line. Why the offensive line don't look like that?
Man, our line, offensive line, and I'm gonna have to take your shit, even the D line. But I'm starting to realize when you got great talent, but you don't have good coaching, that talent can't take the next step forward. You mentioned something very key in the Oregon. You were like, look, they're taking care of both sides of the ball. When they get into a situation where it's about to be a close game like it was with Ohio State, that's when Danny Lanning showed why he's not Mario Cristobal, because they on purpose got a penalty to keep them boys with a lack of seconds. And I'm like, that's coaching. That's coaching. All right, it's a match. You realize what they're trying to do. Our coaches can't out coach goddamn Georgia Tech. You know what the fan base say? But Georgia Tech is really good. Listen, these guys don't know football. All right, they said Virginia Tech was good. Anytime that they keep up with it, instead of saying the
Kyle,
obvious
Kyle
truth,
is a decent team, but Kyle is get the fuck out of here.
fuck out of here, bro. Fuck out of here. Y'all not the same Miami fans that talking about Butch Davis, though. You're not the same Dennis Erickson, Jimmy Johnson. We have raw coaches. Y'all will defend Mario to the T and not realizing that. Listen, there's nothing wrong with having a lot of talent, but he's showing us you can have the greatest talent ever. All right, Texas A&M had all the talent that 1 year under Jimbo. All right, Jimbo had problems with offense for a very long time. All right, off rip in year one, Mike Elk looked better. Oh, he's lost 2 games. Yes, but they lost 6 and they had way better. Mike Elk in his first year has only lost 2, probably 3 because they still got to play Texas. But still, come on, bro. Y'all remember we went 5-7. You ain't got to win. You ain't got to win. You ain't got to lose 7 games for with something in the cupboard. Why is it SMU took a step up and they've only got 1 loss? Brett Lashley, come on now. But you know what? The coaching is subpar. And it has been, and it will be, and it always was. And y'all will be happy. You want to know why? Because y'all new age fans. You don't like what I'm saying, but what I'm saying hurts. All right? It burned like absolute. All right? Like it's the truth. The truth hurt. The truth is ugly. And you know what? We in for a rude awakening next year because we can go get better assistant coaches. But guess what? They're not going to be elite because at the end of the day, I'm starting to realize that Mario don't even get the best assistants because outside of recruits, we're just gonna get the best talent recruits, and y'all are gonna be happy with that. And y'all are making excuses. We just got to get it cleaned up. That was good for us. No, y'all don't realize you have to be able to outcoach your opponents, and coaching is not just for your opponents, it's for your team. This team is not going to be good because it's like, come on, man. But you know what, we got 1 loss, but we've been saying this shit since before the loss. But if we lose to SMU, y'all are making an excuse. Go
Listen,
to the playoffs and embarrass ourselves. Come on,
listen.
man.
Nah, man, I'm finna call it now because I think we need to like give them the real based off what this team is. This team, this team isn't coached well. It's a piss poor coach team. This team is not gonna win the ACC. So like our best chance to win ACC title was this year. Go undefeated was this year. We're gonna get to the ACC title. And we're gonna lose. We're not gonna win, and we won't make the playoff. And people will still be like, oh, if we're end up 10-2, oh, it's an improvement. And even if Cam gets invited, he may not win, but let's say he gets invited to New York, we had a potential Heisman candidate. To me, this just don't.
Nah, that's the saddest shit is that Mario and them cost that boy his motherfucking Heisman. Cause
Yeah,
with that loss, that's an unexplainable loss. And He looked bad in that loss. He didn't look good, but I'm like, it wasn't his fault. It was the lack of coaching that put him there because you come to a university not just for the NIL, not just because obviously you want to win a championship. You if you're with Rhett Lastly, you're gonna improve. He's gonna make sure that you know what you're holding the ball too long, and in between series you're getting better and better every game. Cam is not. Cam was as good as he was when he got here, and
Yeah.
they're so hyped about him. But I'm like, look, he been holding the ball too long. Y'all never cut that down. Several drives in that game, like you said, give me a good short pass. The last drive for sure. Get the short pass for the 5 yards, and we good. You're holding
I
the
think
ball.
it
You're
was
running around.
Arroyo. I think Arroyo was like open in the flat, and it might have been like maybe 3 or 4 yards. He could have got out of bounds. Take it, just take it.
Take
You
it.
don't got to make
Take
the
it.
big play. Take the easy one. Like you got to coach them on the sideline and tell them if it's not there, throw the ball away. If it's not there, take the easy pass. Make sure you tell everybody else get out of bounds and like
Not just that, you know you could have ran, right? He could have been ran. He could have been ran because he's running back and forth. Run, take off. There's open field in front of you. Okay, take off, get positive yards. But I'm like, yo, you got two options. You picked the third option, which is not the smart option. And you're doing it multiple plays. So now they're trying to cover the receivers more. Think about if you break contain, now you're running and you're pretty fast. You're deceptively fast. So now you done got 10 and 12 yards. Now it happens again, you done got another 10. You think that third time around they're not gonna have somebody stay home? Then you can bust their ass. Football is chess. Football is chess. Now they don't know what they're gonna do. You keep getting contained. Now they gotta watch for that. You could have killed him with a short pass. Now you hit him with a pass. And it's so sad because that's coaching. That's not really on Cam. That's coaching. And you know what? You let him get away with it every game. So that's what his default is. When he gets to the league, they're gonna fix that quickly.
oh,
They're not gonna
they're
allow
gonna
that to
definitely
continue to
fix that
go.
quickly because everybody else is that much more faster. They're not gonna let you run around, and he holds the ball like a loaf of bread. That's why they was able to knock it out of his hand because he doesn't hold it very securely. He always holds it kind of
Mm-mm.
hanging out. So they, in the NFL, they gonna be swiping that shit every time they get a chance. They're gonna be always trying to knock
He
them.
should have been took. He should have been took off though. Honestly, you should have been took off. Like even when I'm looking at those short passes, make the short pass or get the fuck up out of there. We know that you're dangerous with the long ball, but you got to be able to take what the defense gives you.
Take what
But
the defense give you, and they had like a minute 30. It wasn't like they had 30 seconds left, so they had time to
yeah,
to get a couple short passes and keep getting first downs and moving the ball because it wasn't like the time was winding down, but like they still had plenty of time. And this to me, this is where the coach has to be in the quarterback ear to make him aware of the situation. Like you gotta make him aware. You gotta pull him aside and like really get in his ass. I think they just like even I listen to after the game, like, we believe in Cam and blah, 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 blah. Like, yo, fuck that. Fuck that. Like, you gotta be like, listen, this is the difference between mediocrity and excellence. Nick Saban in the SEC, I'll never forget this shit. In the SEC championship game, when Jalen Hurts was actually playing well, but he wasn't playing good enough, he took him out and put Tua in the SEC championship game, and Tua came in and did what he needed to do. When your quarterback had been playing well, but your coach has to know when to take the ball and be like, "Hey, this is what we're about to do," and you got to respect the coach when he makes that decision. Tua came in,
and think about it.
he
In
touchdown.
that instance, and the equivalent would that have been in Miami is to sit Cam down and say, listen, we these next 3 drives, we're gonna switch things up. When you see an opening, I'm gonna need you to take off with it. We're gonna do it a couple of times to open up. Don't look for the hero ball unless it's there,
Or
because
take the
they're so
3 yard
control.
pass. Take the 3 yard. When somebody's open
Take
three
the
or
three
four yards,
yards.
take it.
No, their biggest argument is you got to live and die with it. No, you can make it better because no one's saying that you can't get the hero one, but you can't go for the hero every single time, every single series. They're watching for it. They knowing. So now their line is running for it, and their defensive backs are on high alert for it. So you got to catch them slipping. And you do that by being unpredictable. They're not expecting you to run because they've been studying you on game tape. See, this is coaching and this is game tape right here. There's no way Miami coaches were in those meetings looking at this game tape, say, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna start throwing teams off. Cam, we want you to run a little bit more. We want you to go for the short passes, and then we're gonna do everything to confuse them. And we're gonna hold. Come on, man. That's what I say. Look, man, I ain't got nothing else to say. I ain't got nothing else to
And you
say.
know what, man? I don't want to be on my Tupac shit, but man, your pussy ass other podcasts talking about, oh man, it's just one loss and we still got a chance to win the ACC. Man, y'all sound like some hoes. Y'all don't sound like no
You do.
Miami fan. Real Miami
Them
fan.
ain't no real Miami fans, bro. Y'all did not raised on the same teams. You just want to be happy that you want to win. You want to know why? Because you was tired of Al going. You're tired of Al going. You didn't like Mark Rick, even though Mark Rick, I will say this. When they beat the fuck out of Notre Dame, oh, that was ass whipping. That's how you whoop some ass, okay? That's how you whoop some ass. All right, at the end of the day, y'all just so hard up. You just so happy. Y'all happy with the window dressing. We got 4-star. We got 5-star. You got 5. Look, bro, y'all, man, listen. This shit been looking pussy the whole fucking season. It been looking pussy the whole fucking season. You don't want to win like that. You got the best team that you're gonna have in years, and you barely winning. You taking comebacks, and you happy? You happy to be on TV? Hell nah. Hell nah. You know what? Y'all really some fake ass fans. You ain't no real fan. Cause if you was real, you'd have been honest with yourself. You say, yeah, I'm happy with we winning, but I don't want to win like this. I want to improving on my coaching, and you would have been holding them coaches accountable, and you would have been in that shit. Be like, nah, man, why are you not game tape? Why not this? I'm a regular football. I'm not a casual fan, but I watch enough football to where I should be. I'm asking the questions that matter. We're pointing out the things that matter, and you get paid millions of goddamn dollars. Therefore, you ain't got no problem holding accountability. Y'all don't want to ask Mario shit. Mario got that same dumbass look on his face. And I'm like, yeah, bro, this man, he ain't no head coach. Our coordinator suck, but it's more on him. And I'm like, bro, he never looked like he know what he's doing.
Man,
There's no way.
we
But
go.
that's what happened when you got an O-line coach in charge of some shit that he don't need to be in charge of.
Nah, man, they say it's
Fuck out of here.
Miami needed a wake up call. They needed to feel a sense of urgency, and Miami needed to, come
They
back
been needing nah.
and
Hell nah.
not
We've been playing
just
from
one
behind the
loss, and we can save the season, and we still got Heisman, Cam, and y'all sound like some hoes. Y'all
Nah,
sound like some
y'all like some hoes.
y'all sound
Them ain't real Miami fans. These new age Miami fans with these new age teams where you can get away with subpar coaching, even though Miami was only ever raw. Cause think about it, before they had a raw football team and they was gonna cancel in it, your first coach to claim the fame was a raw ass coach. So I think y'all gonna realize, fuck all the players. The players are dope. It's not on them. You need a raw ass coach. You need good coaching, and until you have that, you gonna always have these excuses, and you always gonna lose, and you gonna think it's just this, it's just this, it's just that. You fucking around with branches, not realizing you bad at the roots. You bad at the
mm,
fucking roots.
mm.
So you want to go in there because you're gonna get out coached by Rhett Lashley. So even if you win at SMU, you're gonna be happy. But it's like, bro, when you lose, it's gonna be coaching. It's coaching.
I
You barely winning.
I
Come
want
on,
to
bro.
hear.
And
I
you
want
think
to hear what
SMU got the
anybody.
same roster we got? Come
I
on,
want to
bro.
hear what anybody pussy ass excuse gonna be if we lose the ACC championship game. I want to hear their excuse then.
Well, I'm probably gonna go to that game, and I'm probably gonna report live from it. So, we gonna see. I'm gonna be sitting there, and be like, yep, yep, yeah, that's what's
Hey,
going on.
I also say it's not a foregone conclusion that we're gonna be there. We
Oh no,
still
because you're gonna have a
got
dogfight with
games to win.
Syracuse. Here's the thing: when you don't have good coaching, but you got a vastly better roster, you got higher paid everything. You then got better facilities. You're gonna find yourself in dogfights because Wake Forest is gonna put points on the board. Syracuse is gonna try to beat them boys. Syracuse is gonna try to beat
That's
them
the
boys, and
game.
why?
That's the game. Is just like watch,
But
bro.
y'all love it though.
Watch,
Y'all love it. You know what you're gonna
watch.
say? Well, Syracuse scores a lot of points, but Syracuse has a better had to have a better coach. Have a good coach. Man, listen, we already know, but if you're a real fan, go ahead and get in them comments. And if you're a pussy ass fan too, go ahead and get in there and sell us that bullshit about why we, what I'm saying, we're in a dogfight with a subpar coach, and you know what I'm saying, hell, after the Syracuse game, because listen, we've been out coached every game. That's why those points look like that. You're playing from behind because you're out coached. You don't know that. I'm here to break it down for you. It's not the players. You got a better roster. How do y'all understand? We got this roster. We got a top 5 roster. They ain't even in the top 20. But oh, they're good. No, they're not good. Their coach is good. Stop being specific. They have better coaches. Y'all are scared. Y'all scared of Mario. Mario don't strike. He ain't nobody else scared of him. I don't know why y'all are. Y'all scared of the truth. The truth will set your black ass free. All right, look, out coached. Those other teams got better coaches. That's why they score. They don't have better players. Don't tell that lie. They have better coaches. They don't even have a better program. but they have better coaches. So because they have a better coach, they have a better program than the one that's going to be on the field. They'll go back to their losing ways after they put points on us.
Well, yeah,
That's it, man.
yeah,
That's it.
man. Shout out to Kane Nation. Shout out to all of the podcasts keeping it real. You know,
Yeah,
all
shout
your
out to South Coast Kane because he be so trill.
for all your other pussy ass podcasts that's too scary to say some real shit.
Yeah, we got to get this
Oh,
fixed. Yeah, still good season, you guys. I don't know where y'all came from. Y'all were not following those elite coaches, okay? Y'all were not following him. I'm sorry, bro. Even Larry Coker, nice ass, is way better than this, okay? Way better than this, okay? That man had some offenses, okay? That man had some crazy offenses. Whoa, what I wouldn't get. That's all good, man.
yeah, but at
You
least
know,
we
you know who's laughing? You know who's at the house laughing right now? Butch Davis. Smiling. I'd be the defensive coordinator. If you go get me him right now, if Mario wants to say this shit, go get Butch. I promise you, Butch and his 67, 68, I take him because I already know them boys gonna hit. They gonna hit, but you ain't
and they,
gonna
and
do it.
they
You
don't
gonna go get.
respect them, man. I feel like they just don't respect Mario like that.
You don't respect Mario though because Mario, you can tell that the guy really doesn't know football to make adjustments. He don't know how to game plan. And I would ask you, if you're getting paid $10 million, are you getting paid $10 million to recruit? Because the core of your job, recruiting is a big part of your job, right? But the other part of your job is to be able to scheme and in-game coach. I've never met somebody who the core skill involved with your job, you can't do that. All right, what are you paying for? Nah, hell nah. Get the hell up out of here, bro. You
Yeah,
trying to tell me Jeff Brom and Brent Key couldn't take these teams? At this point, the next coach, look at the competition. Take any of them boys and give them this. And I'm like, yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah.
I'm
I'll
gonna
take
tell you
any of
what,
them. Give me Lane. Give me Danny Lannon. Yeah, shit. I'll take Lincoln Riley right now. Shit. Give me somebody.
man, you give me anybody. Hey, I ain't gonna lie, you give me Brent Key from Georgia Tech.
Brent Key.
Or,
Give me
or, or, or
Elko.
I got receivers, I got quarterbacks. Yeah, we gonna out scheme everybody. Hell, if you think about it, SMU got our 3 stars and our 4 stars. We won't even need the 4 stars. You take Rhett Lashley and he about to out scheme everything. Come on. But man, y'all, do something in the comments. Do something, bro. But like I said, I wasn't surprised. I'm like, look, this is what it is. These boys is just, these boys is delusional.
I,
Shit is like politics, bro. Don't nobody want to
you
tell the
know,
truth.
you ain't said it, but I'm gonna tell you. Well, we told you so. We've been telling you.
Oh, I've been told you.
We've been
I
told
told
you.
you when the motherfucker came. Easiest season you gonna have with the best players, you in a dogfight, but y'all happy with the win. I don't care we won though. Don't
A
that
win is a
sound like a
win.
little puss ass fan? I won though. I won. What? Bro, you are a Lamborghini that raced a Toyota and you barely beat the Toyota, but you saying that you won. That sounds like an ain't shit motherfucker right there. Yeah, these motherfuckers here, bro. Like I gotta say, I don't like these fans. I don't like these motherfuckers. Cause when I came up, it was nah, bro. We supposed to beat and destroy. So how is it a different age on the other teams out there to play? So fuck it, it's all good though. Let them have it. Let them have it. I sit here and watch this bullshit.
Hey man, yeah, jump in the comments. We already know what it's gonna be. Like I said, we told you so. We told you about Gidry. Ben told you he need to be gone. We been telling.
But bitch, I'm covered. You know what I'm saying? I can go see this specialist, that specialist. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, it could be like something.
Yeah, I gotta go get an MRI in December. Hold on, let me double check.
MRI, that's for your brain, right?
Yeah.